I was totally shocked when I heard this. You know, I didn't even know it until just now. You know, so I immediately, after upon reading, I immediately had to do this because the other thing is, though, I've been watching this film, no joke, because I love the film so much. Though I've been watching it, you know, constantly recently, you know, and all of a sudden, bang, you know, that just totally shocked me, and at the same time, it pissed me off. But yeah, the title says right there. Actor Treat Williams, who I think is an underrated actor. Sadly, he died in a tragic motorcycle accident. He was in Vermont, I would say, yeah, because he crashed his motorcycle. He was involved in a motorcycle accident in Vermont, Route 30, as was said. And I guess where it says that 2008 Honda Element in the southbound lane turned into a path of Williams's motorcycle in the northbound lane, and Williams was unable to avoid the collision. So yeah, and he was pronounced dead at the hospital. Sad. So he died at the age of 71. That just totally just blew my mind. Because the thing is, I love Treat Williams. Like I said, he's an underrated actor. My favorite film of his, like I said, the film I've been watching constantly within probably the past month, you know, because I love the film so much, because I never got tired of watching it, because it's so much fun, and it's a very highly underrated, criminally underrated movie. Deep Rising. I love Deep Rising. Criminally underrated, highly underrated creature feature movie. And then all of a sudden, boom! I just read just recently, he died 2 days ago. Well, by the time this is up soon, it'll be 3 days, but still 2 days ago. You know, June 12th, June 4th. No, actually June 13th. So yesterday. Okay, so by the time this later, it'll be soon. It'll be 2 days old. But yeah, yesterday, yeah, June 12th, June 13th. You know, and just Treat Williams is an underrated actor. But other than my favorite role, because I have the special Blu-ray edition I have right here, and you've seen it in my background. You know, I got the poster right there. Right there, I have the poster there. That's how much I love the movie. That Deep Rising is a personal favorite of mine. You know, personal favorite. I enjoy the film a lot. It was directed by Stephen Sommers, who the year before he did The Mummy, and other co-stars. This co-stars Famke Johnson from X-Men, Jean Grey. For just a recap. Anthony Hale, who played Dr. Chilton from Silence of the Lambs. Kevin J. O'Connor, who also starred in The Mummy, and as Benny, you know. Wes Studi, from Last of the Mohegans. Derek O'Connor, who was the bad guy in Lethal Weapon 2, who told Mel Gibson he killed his wife. And Jamon Hunsu. Music by Jerry Goldsmith, my favorite composer. And yeah, the effects of the time were not as great though, but there were some problems they did. But we've watched the new features on here. You know how some of the effects weren't finished. They had to bring in a new team to finish them though. I know I give them props though, but the thing is, even though like I said, the problems with the creatures though, but still the effects still doesn't hold up. But the thing is, same time, I'm not bothered by the effects at the same time though, because I like the look of the design of the creatures. The Atoya, as you can say, was what Anthony Hale described them. A strange offshoot of the Kea Atoya family. Yeah. But, Treat Williams, like I said, I love Deep Rising, my favorite role of his. I really also enjoy him in the comedy film, Dead Heat, with him and Joe Piscopo, and Vincent Price is in it as well. where they're with him are partners, they're cops, right? First, Tree Williams dies, and he ends up coming back to life, but he's dead, like a zombie. I thought it's a funny buddy cop comedy, horror comedy, It's and also cool. Vincent Price is in it, And Joe Piscopo, I think he's fun as well. Tree Williams, he was fun too. I thought he was a fun bad guy in The Phantom with Billy Zane. Billy Zane played the Phantom, and Tree Williams, he was the bad guy named Xander, or was it Xavier Drax? Yeah, and just he searched those stones, and just when he gets disintegrated by the gems, he's like, "This is amazing," and then just gets zapped away. Then he started the Substitute sequels, which I remember liking this. The first movie with Tom Berenger I like, but I like Tree Williams in the Substitute sequels. I think Substitute 2 I really enjoy. I have to watch Substitute 3 and 4 though, but I remember liking the sequels, The Substitute. And then he was starring 127 Hours with James Franco, where he played his dad. But yeah, Tree Williams has been a lot of movies, and I think he's an underrated actor. And it's sad to say though, with this because this Blu-ray came out in 2018, right? You have interviews with actor Kevin O'Connor, Wes Studi, and Anthony Hale. I wish that we had I wish I got a new interview with Tree Williams. How we felt about them making the movie, I mean, Wes Studi, he was the bad guy. Hanover, the leader of the mercenaries. Kevin O'Connor was Tree Williams' buddy, Joey. And Anthony Hale was the other bad guy, Kenton, who was the owner of the ship who hired the mercenaries to sink the ship. I wish that Tree Williams did a new interview with us on the features, though, sadly. But I think it's totally sad, I mean, the last actor I recall was involved. Well, they got a vehicular accident. Was like Anton Yelchin. Anton Yelchin, who played the new Chekhov from the reboot of Star Trek movies. Like, sadly, because he got out of his car and the thing backed up and it slammed against a brick wall. I think it was. That was sad, But that's what I remember of the last actor who died from a vehicular accident. But shit, man. I think the funny thing is, because I got my mom to watch this. She liked the movie. She did, because she was like liking these type of movies though. Although sometimes my mom says she doesn't catch on to things really quick. She doesn't process things really that quickly. You know what I mean? But regardless, she told me that she liked the movie. And not Wes Studi. I mean Tree Williams. Like as Finnegan, his character Finnegan. He's fun as as like when he's talking with the mercenaries, when they're beating Joey to almost beating Joey up, and he pulls a spear gun with Cliff Curtis, and he's like, and then when they're leaving, he's like, "Everybody okay? Anyone gonna shoot anyone?" That's a year off my life. Oh, of course, the famous the line he says constantly throughout the movie. Now what? Yeah, it's just. I mean, this just totally just blew my mind. I'm almost. This made me almost at a loss for words, because it's funny because I was watching this film constantly a lot. One time with my mom because she but she liked the movie. But other times I was watching this constantly because I love Deep Rising. This is a film I never got bored with. I never got tired of watching because I'm having so much fun watching it, and it was one of the easiest fast-paced movies I watched. It says 106 minutes though, but it moves at minus end credits. It moves at a very fast-paced movie. And the also thing is, I think long time ago, I did a commentary on this movie. Long time ago, back in October. I think it was a few years while I was starting out. I think 2015 or 16. I did one. If you want to go search on my channel, type just look at Deep Rising commentary. Fan commentary. It's a fan commentary. Yeah, I think I did one fan commentary this a long time ago. So if you find it, feel free to check it out, though. But yeah, but everything I enjoyed about the film. Yeah, the special effects. Yeah, I could say it's not finished though. But the thing is, though, nowadays it doesn't bother me no more. Yeah, I can say, the only problem I can say with the film is the special effects. But the thing is, though, of the creatures though. But the thing is, though, now it doesn't bother me no more because I think is the problems behind the scenes though. But still, I like the design and look of the creatures, the tentacles of the mouths, and the main creature. And Tree Williams' badass moment where he sees the main creature, the creature has him, he looks at it in the eye and goes, "What are you looking at?" And just takes the shotgun, just blows that sucker's eye out. Totally badass, I just love it. "What are you looking at?" Just boom! Blows that sucker's eye out. See what that was? It was saying this because it just blew my mind when I just found that he just passed away. That he just passed away from a motorcycle accident. Jeez, And I thought it was enjoyable between the chemistry between him and Famke Johnson as well, and the rest of the cast as well. I understand. I always love Deep Rising. I always do. That's why I got the poster there. That poster has been hung up in my wall that poster of Deep Rising has never left that spot on my wall for how would I say 15 years now. It's the same thing with my Godzilla poster. That's been hung up for a long time too, though. But Deep Rising has been hung. I think it's been hung up the longest. I think it's before even my Deep Rising poster has been up there before I even started my channel. Yeah, that's been that long, but it's before I started my channel back in 2013. Before that, that's how long it's been there. That's why, because it's one of my personal favorite movies. One of the most underrated creature feature movies ever, in my opinion. Underrated as hell. I love the cast. Tree Williams, like I said, he's badass as Finnegan. Enjoy his dialogue, his chemistry, like with his buddy Kevin O'Connor as Joey, Famke Johnson, and all the rest of the cast, And even the movie, especially the CGI, there were some decent amount of practical effects as well. When the ship explodes, it's a model actual exploding. That was cool. Then some practical effects with the creatures a little bit that you can see. But yeah, I enjoyed the movie. I love the movie, and I'll miss Tree Williams. And like I said, it's a shame this film flopped because it came out in January. It was supposed to get a release in October '97. But it came out in January '98, and it was completely overshadowed. It bombed badly. A budget of 45, made 11 million. But you know what? But that's why ever since then it has gained a cult following. It is now it has become a cult classic, which is good. I'm glad this became a cult classic because I think it had a fan base afterwards. Even the film didn't do that well, it gained a fan base, which that's good. That's why it became a cult classic. So yeah. Rest in peace, Tree Williams. That was another great shocker to me. I mean, I like him in The Phantom, Dead Heat. I enjoy the Substitute sequels. He was good. Whatever the small supporting role he had in 127 Hours as James Franco's father. Yeah, but wherever I see Tree Williams, it's always nice to see him on. But this one, has always been his best role. I enjoyed his role as Finnegan. Badass character. Rest in peace, Tree Williams. That's all I can say. Rest in peace, man. Underrated actor. Deserve. I think he would deserve more roles like this if this film was a success, though. Great shame. Yeah, but if you, like I said, my fan commentary of Deep Rising I did long ago. Feel free to find it. It's still on my channel. You can find it. Check it out. I've talked about this film. I want to say for October when Halloween comes around again. October, I think I'll do a re-review of this because, like I said, it deserves more praise, and plus for Tree Williams though. But yeah, rest in peace, Tree Williams. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more for Anime Month, and we'll see you next time. Later, and once again, rest in peace, man.